What's happening, guys? Today I'm going to take you through my basic full body warm-up, which I do before every session. It's relatively functional and you can kind of use it before most types of workouts if it's kind of resistance training. Warm-ups are really important, especially for injury prevention and making the most out of your workouts, making them as efficient as possible. There's nothing worse than going into the gym feeling tight and feeling like there's a potential for injury there. I will start off with warming up my hips and my lower back first, because that's an area that I feel is most limited with range of motion. However, everyone's different, so if someone's got tight shoulders, they might want to warm up the shoulders first. There's no one size fits all for warming up. You just kind of need to get yourself moving and do what you think will benefit you the most. I will start off with warming up my hips and my lower back. As you can see here, I'm doing some reverse kicks. And I hold the last two just to get that extra stretch. I've sped this video up a little bit, so take your time with your warm-ups, don't rush through it like it looks I'm doing here. This kind of warm-up's a little bit better than just getting on a treadmill or a bike for 5 or 10 minutes, because you're actually getting yourself moving. The aim for this warm-up is to activate your muscles. So right here I'm activating my glutes. This was a push-pull session, so activating my glutes is pretty important for that, especially because I was deadlifting. Just messing about in different positions. Really focusing on what muscles are being worked, what muscles are being activated. So here, just warming up the thoracic spine. Kind of emphasizing kind of thoracic extension. Here. Again, just a bit of thoracic rotation. It helps with the range of motion through your shoulders and your lats. As I say, just messing about in different positions, finding your tight points, pushing yourself to the end range of motion. We've got some hip circles here. These feel really good. I think these are really effective for loosening off my hips. I've been doing this warm-up for about 2 years, and I've not really had any injuries because of weight training. It's all been factors that have been outside of the gym, so I feel this warm-up is effective with preventing injuries. Here we just got some thoracic rotations. Again, just warming up that back, the upper back, keeping your hips nice and square, engaging the core a little bit. It's a really good warm-up exercise. I'd recommend getting one of these resistance bands. So I'm just warming up my shoulders here, retracting the scapula. resisting the band from pulling my arms towards each other, keeping the tension on the band. If you feel like when you're working out your shoulder feels really heavy and it feels like all the muscles are pulling it down, you could try this. This might help it, just by kind of getting your shoulder moving and kind of activating all the muscles around your scapula. So again here, I'm not letting my hands go towards each other, keeping the resistance on the band. If you're doing a push session or a bench press session, this could be an exercise you could incorporate into your warm-up. Again, there's no real structure that I follow. I kind of go by the same principles and I just kind of mess about with the different movements that I go into. So just testing my squat mobility, pushing my knees out with my elbows, keeping my feet nice and flat on the floor. If you're going to be squatting, this is a really good exercise to do. Just sit in the bottom of a squat, find where you're limited in terms of range of motion, and just move through the movements. Find where you're tight and try and unglue all that tightness in your hips and your ankles and low back. This is the best hip stretch in the world. I think I did this for ages. If you were to take one warm-up exercise that you could use before a squat day, this would probably be it. So here, this kind of resembles a squat. So this is like my right leg, I'm in the bottom of the squat position with my right leg. I'm just kind of moving about this area, going through end range of motion, finding where I'm tight. So I'm turning towards my knee, turning away, going back, going forward, keeping my foot nice and flat on the floor with my arm on the inside of my knee, pushing my knee out to emphasize the external rotation. It's a good exercise for activating your glute medius. It's like a side plank. Keep your knees a bit bent. Lifting my foot off my other foot here really emphasises that activation in my glute medius. A lot of the time if you see someone squatting and they struggle to keep their knees out, among other things, it will be their glute medius that is limiting them from pushing their knees out. This band isn't very tight. I need to get a tighter one, but it's better than nothing. So these face pulls, retracting the scapula, doing them sitting down really tests your kind of posture, your core posture. You're having to sit up. You're engaging your thoracic spine. It's a little bit harder than if you're to just stand up. Again, it's all about activating your muscles that you're going to be using. And again, I can sit pretty deep in a squat without a butt wink after this warm up. My hamstrings need a little bit of work though. So give this warm up a try, guys. If you feel that you're tightening up after every session and you're not really making any progress, give it a go.